Everyone. This is your girl, Regina Weston, and I am what? I am bringing the heat. Today, I want to talk about when the smoke clears, how are you going to pick up the pieces? I wanted to focus on relationships. Since this COVID-19, many of us have been locked indoors with our spouses. For some, that's been a challenge. For others, it has been a delight. I want to know, how are you going to pick up the pieces when you have been home with your spouse? You have had the time to see some things, to evaluate some things, good or bad. Many of people are going to be running to the courthouse when the courts open and be filing for a divorce. Many of people are going to be planning trips, going on a cruise to get to know their spouse a little bit better. Where would you stand when this is all over? I wanted to focus on those people that have decided, oh my God, I see some things about my spouse and this is not what I signed up for. When he or she was going to work, I was able to cope with some of the foolishness. But now that I have to deal with this stuff 24 hours a day, day and night, I realize this is not what I signed up for. And so many are going to take the steps to exit out the relationship as soon as they get the opportunity to do so. Where are you standing on this viewpoint? I know that relationships are difficult. It takes two to make a healthy relationships. And it takes one to really to destroy. I know they say it takes two to make a relationship, but it really takes one to destroy it. Because if you have one person fighting for the relationship to be healthy and sustainable, and you have the other person just coming and going and doing what they want to do when they feel it's in their power to do, with little or no regard for how their partner feels about it. I was thinking about that. I was saying, when you're in a relationship, many say it's supposed to be 50-50, but it's just supposed to be, we come together and we just do what is right towards each other because we love each other and we are a team. And so what happens when you're in a relationship and you are no longer a team? I like to tell women, including myself, taking my own advice, sometimes when we get in relationships, many a times when we get in relationships, we get so caught up into our spouses that we forget about ourselves. We forget that we matter. We forget about that the goals that we had before we met our mate mattered, and we just put 100% into that individual. And when you realize that you're not getting it back and you have expressed yourself on more than one occasion, and that person has still not taken into account your feelings and your thoughts on how you feel about the relationship to make it better, where do you stand? Where do you go? I just want to encourage women of all ages, and even for men that may be watching this video. If you find yourself in a relationship and you're at a crossroad, I'm not here to tell you to stay or leave. That is not my position. My position is to tell you to learn to put you first, to take care of you, the things that you like to do, start doing it. Self-care matters. Saying no matters. Whenever you do something for someone and is not appreciated, you don't have to continue to do that. You don't treat the person wrong, but I think it's okay to pull back. I really do. It's okay to pull back, and some of that energy that you was putting on that individual, redirect it and place it on yourself. Self-love matters. You matter in a relationship. It should not just be about you giving 100% to an individual and that person is not giving you anything back. I remember a young lady saying that when you go to the bank and you make deposits, you're making deposits of money. However, if you continue to go to the bank and withdraw and withdraw, eventually you're going to be on zero and you can't get nothing out of zero. And that's the same thing in a relationship. If you putting in, but you getting zero back, it's time to focus on you. You can continue to stay if that's what you choose to do, but it's time for you to redirect your energy and start focus on you. Go back to school. Start investing into some good self-help books to build you up. Sometimes when you're in this relationship, you also lose your self-worth and your self-esteem. That's if you're in a relationship that is abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally. Those things tear you down. And it has a way of making you feel like you're worth nothing or you're nobody. But I want to enlighten you. You are somebody. You are worthy to be loved. And you should be in a relationship where that person loves you and that you feel their love and that you don't have to fight for that love. I don't want to fight for nobody's love. I really don't. Either you love me and want to be with me or you don't. But one of the things I find interesting is that people be in relationships and they really don't want you, but they don't want nobody else to have you. Like, what part of the game is that? Like, we have a lot of selfish individuals in this universe. And that's just true. A lot of selfish individuals. I want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you. I want you, but I'm not going to do right by you. I want you because you serve a purpose. And that's what it is. You serve a purpose. Whatever that purpose is. It can be that you're a hard worker. And that individual know that regardless of what he or she may do, you're going to keep a roof over their head. Or you may be a great homemaker, keeping food, cooking, and taking care of the children. So they know that if they don't do, that things are still going to get done. It is what it is. It's the truth. You find in old times, like I would say, like with my grandparents, they loved each other, but you see that they stayed in relationships for the long haul. When they said for better, for worse, that's exactly what it meant. It could have been them sleeping, one spouse sleeping on the couch and the other one sleeping in the bed, but they stayed together. But what I found with that is that they still worked together. They still pulled their money together. They still raised the children together. Now, they may have had disagreements and went to their separate quarters. However, they still maintain a family and a good front. But nowadays, people don't even care about a front. They don't care. They just come and go as they please. They don't aid in taking care of the children. They don't care if the bills are paid. They don't care if the children are being fed. They don't care if the children are being clothed. They just want a place to rest their head at night, and they want to have the opportunity to come and go as they please. So again, the question is, where are you going to be, or how are you going to cope when the smoke clears? Like, are you going to pick up the pieces and press the reset button, realizing that you got to do some things differently so that you can have a productive life, so that you can live a healthy life? Or are you going to sit back when the smoke clears and continue to go along with the status quo? I encourage you to want better for yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. That's one thing that we as women, in my view, for some women, not all, we fail to love ourselves. We fail to realize that we are important. We fail to realize that we have something to offer, and it's just not our body parts. Our mind is capable of producing greatness. Our heart is so big that we can love so hard that it can change things. And so, with that being said, don't let anybody or anything come in your life, into your space, and just invade your space to the point that you no longer exist. I want you to regain who you are. If you love cooking, go back to doing that. If you love sewing, go back to doing that. If you love hiking, swimming, reading, whatever it is that you enjoyed doing before you got into a relationship and lost yourself in a relationship, press the reset button and go back to being who you were. Continue in the relationship if that's what you choose to do, but make some changes. And one of the changes I want to recommend is loving you. That goes for me. That goes for you. That goes for everybody. How can you really give of yourself when you don't love yourself? Think about that for a minute. You're driving on empty, but you're trying to give yourself to someone else. What does it profit you to try to give all of you and nobody fills up your tank? Think about that for a minute. You matter. Your life matters. What you want to do matters. Where you want to go in life matters. And if you have a spouse that wants to join you and y'all go along with the ride together, baby, go for it. I'm all here for it. However, but if you on that scooter by yourself and you hanging on to his coattail and he's swiveling and swiveling and swiveling and swiveling. Yes, I'm making up words. He's swerving and swerving and swerving and swerving, and he don't care whether you fall off the back of that bike or not. Girlfriend, pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. Hug yourself. Look in the mirror. I have an uncle, and I love him to life. Every time I speak to him, he said, Regina, I can't give you a hug because we're talking on the phone, but go to the mirror and kiss yourself and then hug yourself and let yourself know that I love you some Regina. And that's what I want you to do. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love me some me. Because if I don't love me, I can't expect nobody else to love me. So when the smoke clears, again, I want you to reevaluate your life. Reevaluate the situation that you're in. Reset the button and start beginning to live the best life that you can. And as always, I always want to speak to victims of domestic violence. If you are in a situation that is causing you harm mentally or physically or financially, I pray that you would get the courage to make a decision and realize that you do not have to live that way. Am I telling you to leave a state? That's not my choice. What I'm saying is that you do have a choice. You do have a choice. There are many agencies out here that are in a position to help you along your journey. And I pray that you realize that you deserve better. I pray that at some point you get the courage to reach out to someone that truly loves you, that truly has your best interest at heart, and that will do everything in their power to protect you, mind, body, and soul. And if you have that, reach out to somebody today and reset that button and change the course of your life. You deserve it. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Leave your thoughts. Remember that self-care matters. Why? Because you matter. Nobody can love you like you. Love you, baby, with all your heart. And this is Regina Weston. And I'm doing what? I am bringing the heat.